Hello, welcome. I'm Nisha Khanna from FinerBalance.com, and today I'd like to share with you some basic self-Marma therapy. Marmas are energetic points located throughout the surface of our bodies that, when pressed, balance neurochemistry. In pressing these sites, we dissolve blockages that develop from incomplete mental and emotional processing. And in resolving blockage, we reestablish the normal flow of prana throughout our body's channels. Today we're going to cover 5 basic marmas located on the head and upper body because these are easy to access when doing self-therapy and they're easy to demonstrate. Typically you apply pressure for about a minute to a minute and a half and use the pads of your fingertips. So today we'll begin with Adipati Marma, which is called the king of all marmas, and it's located on the crown of our head right about here. The way that you make sure you're in the right spot is you draw an imaginary line across the head between the apex of each ear, and where that line crosses the midline is Adipati. It's a good marma to begin with because it really does balance the whole neurological system. And it's great for such things as headaches, migraines, nausea, dizziness, balances hormones and emotions, and it also is really great for increasing mental focus and improving memory. Our next marma is Ajna Marma, which is located at the third eye, right about here. So this marma, the way you make sure you're in the right spot is you walk up one finger breadth between a line drawn between the eyebrows at the midpoint, and that's Ajna Marma. This marma has similar indications to Adipati, which include headaches, migraines, balancing hormones and emotions, improving mental focus and memory, but it's also really good for insomnia, relieving eye strain, and sinus congestion. Our next marma is Shanka Marma, and Shanka is located close to our temples, right about here. We walk back 2 finger breadths, and it's located on the scalp in a groove between the 2 bones, but still parallel to the temple. We'll find it on this side too. Find your temple, walk back 2 finger breadths, find the groove, and there you have it, Shanka Marma on each side. This is a strongly pitta pacifying marma. So that means it's not only good for headaches and migraines, but also really good for relieving hyperacidity and reflux. Due to its proximity to the ear, it's good for ear complaints, and it also helps TMJ. I like to circle back a little bit on this marma and then return to holding steady pressure. It's interesting, instinctively we press close to this site whenever we have a headache or are stressed out. Our next marma is Jatru Marma, which is located on the manubrium sternum. So the way you make sure you're in the right spot here is find the midpoint between the clavicles and slide down about 2 finger breadths, and it's located on the flat bone right below. Jatru Marma is great for enhancing immunity, relieving fatigue, and due to its proximity to the thyroid, it's also really good for balancing thyroid dysfunction. And our final marma today is Hridaya Marma, which is the heart marma. It's fitting that we include this in our discussion given our discussion of the channel of the mind, which is rooted in the heart. So Hridaya is located on the sternum in the third intercostal space. right about here. So the way you make sure you're in the right spot here is the space right below the clavicle is the first intercostal space. Walking down, you'll find the rib, the bony prominence, and then there's the second space below it, and then there's another bone, the rib, and then another space below it, and that's your third space. Slide back towards the midline on the sternum, and that's Hridaya Marma. Hridaya is really good for supporting cardiac function, and it also helps relieve shortness of breath and hyperacidity and balances emotions. Some of these points actually might feel sore as you go through them, and that's a good indication that A, you're in the right spot, and that B, they need some work. However, if they're not sore, that doesn't mean you're still not deriving benefit from pressure. And that concludes our Marma demonstration for today. Please do go through these again at home and hold them for the entire minute to minute and a half to receive the full benefit. I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you for your time. Namaste.